Welcome to Earth and Glam. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial for the batter up earrings. As always, we'll start out with conditioning the clay. We use the Sculpey Primo, and today we'll be using a sparkly white color. To condition the clay, we'll break it down and then put it in our pasta roller. If you don't have a pasta roller, you can use an acrylic roller for this process. It takes a few passes, making sure that the clay is really malleable. For the batter up earrings, we're going to be using a circle as our base, which we will be adding stitch accents to make it look like baseball. So we're going to go through and cut out as many as we're hoping to make. In this case, we'll be making 3 pairs, 6 total cuts. Now that the top piece is taken care of, we will start conditioning the red that will be used for the stitching detail on these earrings. I'm using an extruder tool for this process. You can use just a cutter to create a similar effect. Once the clay has been loaded, we put on the shape we want the extruder to push out the clay in and begin twisting. Gonna get a few passes through the extruder so we have plenty of clay to work with. From here, the strips were still a little thick, so I cut them down in halves, trying to get the straightest line possible here. We'll be using 2 halves to create the primary stitching design, and then also using smaller pieces of clay to create the individual stitches. Here I am ensuring that the stripe design is adhered to the baseball. You can use a bonding agent from Sculpey at this point, but I find that the clay adheres quite well. Now comes the meticulous part of adding individual stitches to this design. And once that's done, we'll bake the pieces in the oven at 270 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes. Allowing time for the pieces to cool, we will return to our workstation. From here, we'll be using our Dremel tool to sand down the edges of the base pieces. If you don't have a Dremel tool, sandpaper will work just fine. And repeat the process for all remaining pieces. Once the pieces have been sanded, we'll change the top to the Dremel. Once the sanding has been completed, we will turn the Dremel into a drill attachment. If you don't have a Dremel again, you can add holes prior to baking off the pieces in the oven. I like using the Dremel because it creates a cleaner circle. You may also see that some white semicircles have been added to our workstation. I decided to add that as part of the design on these earrings and just improvised. We'll be adding 2 holes to the top semicircle piece, one to attach the hook and one to attach the base piece. And as we move into the bottom base piece, we will only add 1 circle to the top. Now that all the pieces are ready for assembly, we will begin adding the hooks and the jump rings. I'm using a silver-plated nickel-free hardware. I'm pulling out 2 jump hoops for each piece and 1 hook. I'm also using needle nose pliers. Once this step has been repeated for all pieces, your design is complete. These are our batter up design earrings that can be ordered from earthandglam.shop. Thanks for joining, everybody.